All right, y'all. So today we're going to do making predictions with theoretical probability. So predictions are thoughtful guesses about what will happen. You can create an outcome tree to keep track of outcomes. Sally is going to roll a number cubed 21 times. She wants to know how many times she can expect to roll a 1 or a 4. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is there are 6 total outcomes. Okay, well, there's 6 total outcomes because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total sides on a cube. Of these 2 outcomes, 1 and 4 are desirable. So I have 1 or a 4 are desirable. So that's 2 outcomes. So 6 total events, 2 outcomes that are desirable. So use probability to predict the number of times Sally would roll a 1 or a 4. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the probability of rolling a 1 or a 4. Well, we know the number of desirable outcomes is 2 out of the number of possible outcomes, which is 6. Well, that reduces to what? Divide by 2, and that gets me 1/3. So that's the probability of getting a 1 or a 4. Okay, but I don't want to know the probability of getting 1 or 4. I want to know the probability of getting a 1 or a 4 if I roll it 21 times. What's that probability? So when you see the word expect, that means you set up a proportion and it's just part over total equals part over total. So set up a proportion relating the probability to the number of tries. So my probability is first. That gets me 1/3 equals to my part, which I don't know, out of 21. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to cross multiply. So you're going to do 21 times 1 equals 3x. Okay, well 21 times 1 is just 21 equals to 3x. So you just divide by 3 to get x by itself. And I'm left with x is equal to 7 times. So she expects to get a 1 or a 4 7 out of the 21 times. All right? So let's go to this one. Number 1. For each odd number question, find the theoretical probability. Use that probability to make a prediction in the even number question that follows it. So Sandra flips a coin. What is the probability that the coin will land on tails? So we're literally just writing probability of tails equals your part over your total. Okay, well I have 2 sides of my coin, heads or tails. So there's 1 tails out of 2 total sides. Okay, so if I use this 1/2, I'm going to use this 1/2 for number 2. Sandra flips the coin 20 times. 20 times is what we call the total. How many times can Sandra expect? Expect means proportion. The coin to land on tails. So I know the probability of getting tails is 1/2 equal to my part, which I don't know, out of my total of 20 times. Okay, you set up a proportion. First find the probability of what you want equal to x out of how many times you're going to total flip the coin. Okay, well we could cross multiply, or we can say how many times does 2 go into 20? Okay, that's 10. Whatever you do the bottom, you do the top. So 2 times 10 is 20. 1 times 10 is 10. So x equals 10 times. And that's all you do. Okay, number 3. A spinner is divided into 4 equal sections labeled 1 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the probability that the spinner will land on 2? So I write my statement. Probability of 2 is equal to part over total. Okay, well, how many sections are 2? 1. Out of how many total sections? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the probability of me getting a 2 is 1/4. Okay, well, you're going to use this. If the spinner is spun 80 times, how often can you expect proportion for it to land on 2? Well, what was the probability of it landing on 2? 1/4. Expect means proportion, so I set an equal to another fraction. Well, spun 80 times, is that your part or your total? Your total, so it goes on bottom. X goes on top. 4 goes into 80 how many times? 20 times. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 1 times 20 is 20. X equals 20 times. All right. So that's where this video is going to stop. There's my dog. That's the one you were hearing barking on the last video. Oh, Captain. Okay, turn to the back and see if you can do the problems on the back right now. It's the same thing. Find the probability of each event. The first one is done for you. So for number 1 through 4, you're just finding the probability. For number 5, 6, 7, 8, the probability is given to you. And then it wants to know how many times do you expect it to land on that. So you're going to set up a proportion. All right, so try the problems on the back. Okay, good luck.